Mikey, are you ready for Magic the Heroing?
I am ready for Magic the Heroing.
Did you find the bat signal in the sky?
I did. That's why I'm here.
That's weird. I don't even have a bat signal.
The neighbor does.
Those bastards. They're not the neighbors I need. But they're the neighbors with a bat signal.
Gordon's supposed to have the bat signal.
Gordon's my bitch.
He is our bitch.
He has a nice ass. It kinda got away from me there. Welcome to Magic the Heroing. I am Tad.
And I am Michael.
Michael, the Hobbit.
I do come from the Shire. Small Batman.
Little Batman. He is like Batmite. But not as batty.
Bat Mini.
Get over here.
Oh, wait.
Now you're going Scorpion.
They have the same voice. I'm sorry.
They do.
Anyways, welcome to Magic the Heroing. We are doing
The Batfamily.
Finally, after
Over a month.
Yeah, it's been a month, almost 2 months now. Which partially is because of scheduling issues, partially because I have lost my voice 3 different times in the last month and a half,
Yeah.
and some shit went down. But we're here now. We're going to talk about some awesome shit we came up with. We are super stoked, or at least I'm super stoked. I can't really talk for Michael.
No, I'm pretty.
Except I'm going to talk for my... I'm just kidding.
No, I'm pretty excited about this. I'm especially excited since we've been talking. We've been working on this since yesterday, writing stuff down. I came over around 10:30ish, and I didn't leave till midnight.
It was 12:30. Yeah, we were supposed to record yesterday,
but good thing we didn't, because he sounds a lot better compared to what he did yesterday. So it's probably a good thing, especially since this is probably going to take us over 2 hours to do. So
I don't know about 2 hours. It's going to be at least an hour.
That's going to be over an hour.
At least. I'm saying minute. Especially if we banter a lot.
But we're super excited. We have actually, believe it or not, Batman is a full deck. The Batfamily is a full deck.
It is with lands and everything.
Yeah, so we're super excited about that, and we're hoping by after Christmas, we will be in the process of purchasing custom-made cards to make the Batfamily deck.
We're actually going to play with the Batfamily.
Yep, so we're super excited for that.
Eat your heart out, R&D.
So, we are going to start with the equipment pieces for each one of the individual characters.
The non-creature spells of the deck.
And we will start with, obviously, Batman's utility belt.
It is pretty OP. I do enjoy it.
Yep. Allows you to search for 2 equipments from your deck and add them to your hand. Unless you have that proper creature in play, it can automatically be equipped to the creature. So let's say you get Batman, you can pull Batman's equipment and additional equipment, and then it automatically Batman's gets equipped.
And the other one goes to your hand. So and we're gonna go through all the equipments here in a second. We're gonna kind of name them off real quick. We got Robin's staff, Nightwing's batons, Red Hood's combat knife, Batman's shock gloves. Those are all the equipments that are designated to individuals. So if you cast a utility belt, hits the field, and you just cast a utility belt, you get to add 2 equipments to your hand. Yeah, Robin on the field, you get to just give him a staff.
Yep. Automatically give him his equipment right off the bat. It's pretty awesome.
It's pretty dope. Now we do have unique costs for it for some equips and some non-equips. And we're going to get into that as soon as we get into the meat of it. And then the utility belt also does give the wearer +1/+1.
All right, and we'll start into the first one after the utility belt, which is Robin's staff. When the staff is equipped, it gives you +1/+2. We did that more or less because obviously it's Robin's equipment, and we're doing
the Tim Drake Robin.
Tim Drake's Robin, so he's not a very powerful character, so it's more of an offense weapon for him.
Yeah.
So it's to help aid him a little bit in defense.
It's to give him that little bit of reach that he never really had, whereas Grayson and was it Jason Todd?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why that name totally just fell out of my head.
I know. I'm having the same issue.
Yeah, so like they were pretty full grown, big, and Tim Drake was like 12 or 13. He was a young guy, so he's not as big, not as lanky, so he needs that extra oomph to kind of get him going.
Got to have that little extra oomph. Will definitely help. Right, there we go. And our next piece is Nightwing's batons. Now, we thought about this one for a while, and we thought that's his big signature. And since he's obviously a lot older and more physically more powerful, so we went with +2/+0, give him more attack.
Yeah.
Since he's a lot more aggressive of a person. And
That's basically, and like all like the just casting costs are all really low.
Yep.
Like most, like the staff baton costs like 1 to put out.
Yep.
You know, the utility belt costs 3 to put out because it'd be ridiculous for 1 mana. You get 2 other equipments just put on things. That's freaking stupid.
Yep.
The OP there.
And we're also doing for Nightwing. We're doing the Dick Grayson Nightwing.
Yeah. Which was there another Nightwing other than Dick Grayson?
I only know of Dick Grayson's.
Yeah.
I'm just stating because we're doing Jason Todd's Red Hood.
Yep. Which he's got a badass combat knife.
He's got a combat knife, and obviously it's Red Hood is a lot more violent and extremely aggressive. We only gave it a +1/+0, but it also gives him first strike since he's so aggressive.
Yeah.
We thought that suited him better, and we didn't do his pistols or anything because we were kind of tying that into the character card itself.
And we'll get
so
into
we
that when we
figured
get to him.
we would do his combat knife that you see him use a lot as well.
Yeah.
And
That costs like 2 to put out.
combat knife was 2, yes.
Yeah.
And now we got, obviously, Mr. Badass himself, Batman. We're going to do his shock gloves. Now, shock gloves got a pretty awesome ability. Gives him +1/+0, but if you flip a coin, if you get heads, tap target creature until next untap step. We were talking originally doing it every time, but we figured that'd be too OP.
Yeah.
So we decided that you had to flip a coin, so it's chance. So kind of like, obviously, there's going to be more burly people that he's going to be fighting, so some of them can take the hit from a shock glove. So we figured that kind of made sense as well, that some people can handle it and some can't. So we gave it that little chance, which we thought was pretty cool.
And they don't untap on their next untap step. Like you're tasing them essentially.
Yep. And then we had the good old trusty batarangs,
which was, I think, what, 1 to put out.
1 to put out.
And it was you tap. Here's the thing about the batarang is anyone can use it except for Alfred and Gordon, because we decided that they weren't trained or proficient in throwing batarangs.
Yep.
Just wasn't them. But what it is when you have it equipped to a member of the Batfamily, you can tap batarangs. You don't have to tap the creature, but you tap batarangs, and it deals 1 damage to target creature.
Which is pretty handy.
Yeah, it can come in very useful, especially with how the actual members of the Batfamily are kind of set up for their stuff.
And obviously, we got for the last one, which is a big utility belt item, I thought, and also I thought was the best one out of the utility items.
Oh yeah,
would be Batman's smoke bombs, which we have pay 2 and you tap one of your personal creatures. It can be any of the Bat member family, and tap target creature can't be blocked. And smoke bomb doesn't attack during your next untap step. So you're making it. We couldn't make it too OP.
Yeah.
And so essentially it makes your creature unblockable.
Well, the way we originally had it was like you pay 2, tap smoke bombs, target creature becomes unblockable until end of turn. And then it didn't untap, and I was like, we're kind of thinking about it, and I was like, that's really, really strong. We kind of need to nerf that down, because it's like, okay, Batman's unblockable, Batman's unblockable, Batman's unblockable. So now it's like, you pay 2, and you look at it in the sense of one of the other ones are throwing the smoke bombs to misdirect your enemy, so the other member of the Bat family can get it, because they're very heavy on teamwork without having to say anything.
Yep. So you could say Robin threw the smoke bomb, so you have to tap Robin because Robin's throwing the smoke bombs, and then Batman goes in for a big old nice power punch.
Yeah. And the smoke bombs work on everyone. So, like, Alfred and Gordon can also throw it.
Yeah, because it's nothing super special. It's nothing that requires crazy accuracy. It's a smoke bomb.
Yeah.
So it's going to cover a large radius. It's not like a precision item like the batarangs.
And even then, like, Gordon and Alfred are athletically capable of doing that, too, you know?
Yeah.
Because, like, Gordon, you know, he is Commissioner Gordon for a reason.
He's built like a brick shithouse.
Yeah. and Alfred was in the military for a while. He was a medic and all that stuff. I think that's all the equipments.
Now, we did add a new deal from actually coming off of the new set of Magic that came out, would be the vehicles.
I was going to say about the equip costs real quick before we move on to the vehicles and all that fun stuff. With the utility belt, when it pulls them out, as he explained, like, if the associating creature character is on the field, you can equip it right to him, attach it right to the person.
I thought I said that.
You did.
Oh, okay.
But like, say Batman's on the field, and you know, he's got his shot gloves on or whatever, and
wants to use the batons.
Yeah, and he has to pay 2 to equip it. He can't just equip it. Whereas, like, if like Robin has the shot gloves and Batman comes in the battlefield, you can just put the shot gloves on the Batman because it's their signature weapon. If it's their signature weapon, it just automatically equips to them. Whereas everyone else would have to pay a certain amount of cost to equip it because they're not as proficient with it.
Right.
All right. Now I'm comfortable moving on.
Okay. Now, with the new set that just came out, they added in vehicles. So we obviously had to add in the awesome signature vehicles of the Bat family.
Well, here's the thing about that was before Kaladesh came out, we knew about this new thing called vehicles. We were actually having a very hard time trying to figure out how to make the Batmobile and the Batwing work. Like, at first, I think we had them as, like, equipments, where, like, they were equipped and they just, like, buffed up the guys.
Yeah.
And gave them, like, kind of totem armor kind of thing.
Yep.
So I'm very happy they came up with that mechanic because, like, it saved us so much work. So thank you, Wizards.
It took us a while to decide. We obviously had to do the Batmobile, but we didn't know what we were going to do for our second vehicle. Because obviously you got the Batwing, but you also got the Batbike.
The Batchopter. And
yeah. But we ended up going with the other big one that you saw a lot. You saw the Batbike a lot, but you also saw the Batwing a lot.
A lot.
Especially if you're focusing more on Batman. You saw the Batwing and the Batmobile more. So we decided to go with those 2 signatures, and they're both really sweet.
They're OP as fudge nuggets, alright?
We will start with the classic Batmobile.
Of course we will.
And the Batmobile costs 5. It has haste, trample, and with a double white tap target creature, it doesn't untap during its owner's next untap step.
Essentially, it's glue gun.
Yep, we are calling that the glue gun ability. Now we're doing 2 blacks, which is the Batmobile's cannons. Destroy target non-black creature. Now we are doing double red. What did we say that one was? The flamethrower? Or was that was a mini rockets.
Yeah, those are the mini rockets.
We're doing rockets, and since it's Batmobile, to do a massive amount of payload, we said small rockets. Yeah. So you're dealing 4 damage, but you can divide it amongst any number of creatures as you want. So multiple little missiles, you can do multiple targets on the board. We thought that was pretty sweet.
Or you can just focus them in all on one guy.
Yep.
Know, but it can't hit the player.
Correct. Only target creatures.
And to crew the vehicle, and this is the same with the Batwing as well, the crew cost is just any member of the Bat family.
Yep. And the Batmobile is an 8/8.
Yeah. So basically, turn 5, you can swing in with an 8/8 trampler.
With haste, yeah.
Yeah.
And then some really mean abilities.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, we did the Batmobile higher because it's a mobile tank.
Mm-hmm.
So it's obviously going to be a lot more powerful. Now, we did the Batwing is a 7/7 for 5 as well. It gets flying and haste, obviously, because it's a plane.
Jets, you know. They all got jets. Like, you can't, like, well, can't wait for that plane in the air to start moving.
And for a white and red, search your deck for Gordon and put into hand, then shuffle your deck. We did that because essentially you could pick up anybody with the Batwing.
Yeah.
So you're saying you can search for somebody. Now then we did a black and a red, destroy target non-land permanent. So we could use that as his massive rockets payload on the Batwing. Is destroying target non-land permanent. We did that because it's going to have a larger payload than the Batmobile. So we decided to do up to anything other than a land.
Yeah. Now, there's, like, only one of each of these in the deck, so, like, that's why they're as powerful as they are.
Yep.
Because, I mean, let's face it, like, turn 5 or, like, turn 6, when you have all your open mana, and you just crew the Batwing, and you just, like, destroy, like, 3 of their things. And swing in with a 7/7 in the air, like, yeah.
I'm more with the Batmobile, man. Come on, haste, trample, 8.
Yeah, 7/7 flyer that destroys anything.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the Batwing all day, man. Batmobile can't touch it. It's too high. That does cover all the non-creatures in the deck.
Now we're gonna start with creatures. We're gonna go to
We're gonna
the
start-
OPs at the very bottom. So we're gonna guess you could say the weakest link down to the best.
And weakest link is being relevant. We're going by converted mana cost.
Yeah,
and
not by abilities and etc.
Yeah, because
Even some of these weak ones got some nasty abilities.
Yeah, they all make sense for what the character is. And I think for the first one we're gonna start with was Alfred.
Yes.
And Alfred was for 1 and a white, you get a 1/2.
Yep.
All right. Now on your upkeep, you do gain 1 life for every member of the Bat family in play. So if you have Alfred, you're gonna gain a life. If you have Alfred and Robin, you gain 2 life. If you have Alfred and Robin and Red Hood, you gain 3 life. We did this because Alfred's kind of the whole medic of the team when they got hurt in the Batcave. Who was the one that patched him up? Alfred. And then, what was his other ability? It was
white and search for one of the vehicles.
Yeah, so
and then add it to your hand.
Because he's always in the Batcave, you know, and he's always sending out the payloads and stuff to them who need it.
Watching on the, like, I guess you could say on the master computer. So when we decided to go with the vehicles because he's in the Batcave, obviously the Batwing can be piloted remotely, so we thought that was cool, that he could do that essentially.
And the same thing with the Batmobile.
Yep.
You know,
both can be piloted remotely.
And at first, we had to keep nerfing down these cards because I think it started with like a white and you put target vehicle into play.
Yeah,
but
because he could do that, but then we decided that was a little too OP.
Yeah, like turn 3, you're swinging in with an 8/8 trampling haste. It almost seemed a little unfair, you know?
Yeah.
Especially since he's able to crew him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's Alfred. I thought he was pretty sweet.
It is.
And he made sense for the character.
There is essentially no really weak link in it because it's the Bat family. They work proficiently all together.
If I was gonna say there was the weakest one, I would say Robin. Yeah, like in actual effect on the field, and just like overall, like he would probably be the weakest.
Yeah.
Just because he really has the least amount of actual impact. Like Alfred may be like physically the weakest.
But he's got a bit more board presence.
Yeah, so he may be physically the weakest, but he keeps you in the game longer with your life gain, and he lets you go and get your vehicles if you haven't drawn them yet, and that's really a big deal.
Oh yeah.
Now Robin was the second one that we had.
Yep.
And this is the Tim Drake Robin. It was for 1, a red, and a black. You get a 2/2 haste and first strike, and when Robin attacks, other members of the Bat family get +1/+1.
We did that because of his positive personality.
Yeah.
So he's empowering people.
Yeah, he's uplifting the other ones, make them fight better. And yeah, it'll anthem for them all. And the thing was that we have, and you'll see this on all of them except for like 3 of them. They all have first strike. And
Yeah.
this is because they're very well at hand-to-hand combat, very proficient. I mean, they were trained by freaking Batman. You're gonna tell me that they can't strike first?
Mm-hmm.
Am I wrong?
Oh, I definitely agree.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see. Who was after that? Batgirl?
Batgirl. Batgirl was an interesting one.
You might, when we first start talking about it, you might not think she's all that, but there is a other side to it.
I see.
I see what you did there. You like that? I like that.
Batgirl is 2 and a black. She is a 2/2 first strike. And let's see here. She gets a +1/1 if a Bat member is on the field. So if Robin's on the field, she gets a +1/1. So she is a 3/3.
She's essentially a 3/3 for 3. That's basically what she is, because she more likely won't be out there alone.
And she only gets first strike, so she's trained by Batman, but she's not a full expert.
Yeah, she's not like Jason Todd, Tim Drake, or Dick Grayson, who lived with Bruce and trained day in day out with Bruce.
This is basically her side job.
Yeah. Now, this little thing happened called the Killing Joke a while back, and well, she didn't. How do I put this? She didn't have a good time. Some shit went down with some dude and some makeup, and
get shot in the gut's never a good thing.
Yeah, and I don't know,
So we portrayed that into the character.
Yeah.
That's what I really love about doing this side deal, I guess, is we're trying to incorporate the characters themselves in their abilities and everything. Like the silly little things that we're adding into them.
Yeah.
Like the first strike, stuff like that. The uplifting with Robin.
We're adding the flavor to the cards.
Yes.
To make it
we're
more...
really watching that, and I love that we're doing that. We added stuff with the Batmobile. It's obviously a mobile tank, so we added this and this.
Yeah.
We added Red Hood's weapon, pistols, and stuff like that. I love that we're doing that. I guess you're saying we're staying true with the characters to an extent,
Yeah.
I love that we're doing that.
So with Batgirl, in that same mind, when she kind of gets, that's quote, killed, end quote, you will flip Batgirl over into this lovely Oracle, who turns into a white creature who has Defender and Hexproof, because I don't know if you've ever been in a wheelchair. It's not really easy to fight hand-to-hand when in a wheelchair. She's a 0/6, so you have this ginormous wall. And on your draw step, you get to draw an additional card, because she hangs out in the clock tower the entire time, just relaying information, like just point. So she gives you so much information.
So there's more of our flavor text. We're allowing, since she's drawing on your draw step, draw an additional card.
Yeah.
That's that extra information that she is relaying to you. So, like I said, little things like that you probably won't notice unless you actually played them or stuff, or help make them. But I just love that that's there. I'm really gonna notice that and love that when we play the decks, or we have somebody else play them and we're pointing I added that, or little silly things like that. Well, that's because of this and this, and they're I don't care, just let me play.
Fun fact about this, before we even did anything about the Batfamily, I don't know if you remember this was actually the very first thing we agreed on it, was that Batgirl was going to be a two-face card.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Before we had,
didn't we originally say we were going to do it as just her, and then switched it over to the Batgirl, and then we changed it to the Oracle?
Originally, we were going to have a lot of two-face. They were all going to be two-face. We'd be like Bruce Wayne, and then you flip over into Batman.
Yep. We did do that for some of the previous cards.
A few. But, for Batgirl, it made more sense, because you're they're already in the fight. They're not coming into the fight as Bruce Wayne.
Yep.
They're going to come into the fight as Batman. So she's coming into the fight as Batgirl. Shit went down poorly for her, And then she had to kind of move on to her next gig, which was being a badass Oracle.
Yep.
Oof. That's very good. I think it's your go for someone.
We did Batgirl, so it's Red Hood. No, it's Nightwing.
Nightwing, Mr. Dick Grayson. Now, we are going by power at this point. I think Nightwing is crazy strong.
Yeah.
But compared to the last 3, he's not as strong.
And since he's extremely agile, because of being with trapezes, right?
Yep. The Flying Graysons.
Yep. On top of being with Batman, so he already had a high agility skill set before he met Batman, and then he got it. I guess you could say focused more.
Yeah.
So he is 3 and a black. He's a 4/4. Those first strike can only be blocked by those with flying because he was a trapezist, so he can be in. He's always in the air.
Yeah. So like how agile it comes naturally to him, you have to be up there to get him.
Yep. He keeps you on your toes, so he's a lot more in your face aggressive, all over the place, dancing around. It's just you can't keep on top of him.
Yeah.
Now he's got his ability is tap, look at the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 to your hand, the rest at the bottom of your library.
Yeah. And that was more because like he's not as great of a detective as Batman. Like, I mean, yeah, he's the world's greatest detective for a reason. But he did train with him for like 10 plus years.
Yep.
No, he went on to do his own thing. He's a very good detective. And that's more or less what it is he's doing the due diligence of finding the information to make the case go better.
Yep. Now we have my favorite out of the family, which is Red Hood as Jason Todd's Red Hood.
Oh, he's so good.
He is. He is 2 and double red. He is a 4/4 creature with haste, menace, and trample. And he has an ability, 1 and a red, deal 2 damage to target creature or player. That's essentially his pistols.
Pew pew.
So he's just popping some opponents.
Yeah, he's just taking out all the little guys, and go up and get Darkseid, taking all the parademons, and then he goes up and punches Darkseid.
Some Joker thugs. Hint, hint, bam.
Now, we didn't give him first strike because he is a bit more brutish than everybody else, and he does have haste because he's very impulsive as well.
That's why we gave him trample instead of first strike, because he's aggressive.
Yeah, or like
he's violent.
I think what we came down to was like Nightwing, Robin, Batman, Batgirl. Like they'd all have first strike because they'll hit you first, but they know when not to go over that line. Whereas Red Hood is like he wants to go over that line. He's gonna do what they can't do.
I almost think he has to attack every turn.
I don't think he needs to attack every turn. I think that might be a little overkill because there are times when he will hold back when he needs to.
Yeah.
But that's why he has kind of like that haste, is because of how aggressive he is.
Right.
And the menace is because, I mean, let's face it, like compare like Red Hood to Nightwing, who you can be more afraid of?
Red Hood.
Yeah. He's way more menacing.
Nightwing's just gonna talk a little
He'll
a little rough with you.
Not even that. I think
Red Hood might break some fingers or remove digits.
Yeah. or just crack your skull or put a bullet through your head.
Yeah. Or through a kneecap and try and get you top.
Yeah. So he kind of gives no flying alligators about that. Okay, that's Red Hood, and that's why his combat knife gave him first strike. Is because he is so proficient with it that he kind of gets that agility back, which kind of makes him, with his equipment, really fucking powerful. He's a 5/4 first strike, trample, menace, haste. For 1 and a red, you can shock a target creature. That is insane for 4 mana. Like I just now thinking about that. That is insanely powerful. Like I almost think he is the strongest one there now.
That's why I like Red Hood.
Now we're getting to what we, at least at the time, what we thought was the second strongest one, and he still could be, at least actually physical wise.
Oh yeah, I forgot about him. I was gonna go to our last one.
Oh, we can't.
I totally forgot about him. And we started with this one,
it took a while.
It took us a bit, and we fell in love with the idea that we came up with him. and we thought it went well with him, and we are talking about Mr. Gordon. And Gordon is 3 double white. He is a 3/3 creature with vigilance and trample. He gets +1/1 for each family member on the board. And 2 and a white. Search your library for the bat signal and put it on top of your deck.
You know what we missed in
The bat signal.
We almost forgot to write that.
We forgot about the bat signal.
I guess we'll do that when we can do that one before Batman.
Yeah, we can do that before Batman.
We'll say Batman for the end. Now, Gordon was an interesting one. And it was actually kind of hard to come up with Gordon a little bit. Like,
yeah, I came up with the bat signal.
Yeah,
wasn't
we knew we had to do something with the bat signal, and the Gordon finding it because he was the one that always operated it.
Yep, that's what we came with. Why we did that, because he's the operator of the bat signal.
Yeah, he's the one that Batman trusts to talk to. You know, he's not going to talk to what was that one fat cop's name? I don't remember his name.
Mr. Asshole.
Yeah, that's not his actual name. You know.
No, it's Mr. Asshole.
Is it?
Oh, I don't know. He's Mr. Asshole to me.
You're just naming him Mr. Asshole.
Mr. Asshole.
You're gonna go through his birth certificate and be like, nope.
Change it to Mr. Asshole.
Yeah. Bullock. That's what his name was. Bullock. Vigilance is because he is unwavering.
Mm-hmm.
The Joker, who probably had the best shot at corrupting him, failed horribly. And that was after torturing him for 2 or 3 days in a carnival. And
on top of showing his daughter, which he thought was dead.
And showing him pictures of him touching said possibly dead daughter and possibly raping his daughter. And yet he still kept to his morals.
Yep. He still stayed true to his beliefs and the proper justice.
Yeah. Now, that being said, he will do what needs to be done if it comes to that. Whereas Batman, he won't kill. You know, Nightwing, Robin, Batgirl, they won't kill. That's their thing. Gordon, being trained as a police officer, knows that do everything non-lethal as much as you can, but when it comes down to that, if it's you or them,
that's them.
Yeah, he's gonna take them out.
Yep.
That's what you're trained to do, and that's where the trample comes in, where it's he'll take you down, but he doesn't really want to take you down, but it's because he has to. Yep. That's who he is. And then, because he's not the most proficient fighter, in a sense, he's not going to have first strike. You look at him, and compared to the rest of them, you're like, oh, this guy. You're not going to be as intimidated by him, but he gets essentially a confidence boost for every member
of the family.
So
yep.
If it's him and Alfred, he's going to be a 4/4. It's him and Robin and Red Hood, he's going to be a 5/5. You get them all out there, he turns into an 8/8 or a 9/9 or something shit like that. A 9/9 Vigilance Trampler.
So you could see it as he's on the board, and then he has some of the other family members on the board. You can say they're fighting a giant mob. Well, Batman is observant of his surroundings, and he does a battering and slightly cripples somebody. That gives fucking Gordon an upper hand, and he just fucking puts a smackdown on somebody. Yeah. So
the Batfamily makes
him up,
makes him stronger in that sense.
Yep.
And that's what makes him OP. Is the more on his own, he's not bad. A 3/3 Vigilance that lets you search out a card for 5 is fair to me. And I think even with the power boost, still pretty fair. At first, I didn't know how to do the mana cost for him, so I read off everything I thought he should have. And I don't remember what the original mana cost was. I think I was thinking around 6.
Yeah, we go over abilities and stuff, and then we discuss mana cost. And normally we're pretty close, if not right on the button of each other for mana costs. Some we discuss a little bit, and we're like, well, I want it to be a little higher because of this, or I want it to be a little lower because of this, and then we're normally like, okay, that does make sense. Yeah. Let's go that route, or we'll drop the ability slightly, and then we'll make it this cost.
If you have a valid argument, and it makes sense, not just, well, I want this, which has yet to happen. I don't think it will happen ever, to be honest with you. Probably not. But that's how teamwork works.
Yay, teamwork!
High five!
High five!
Oh crap! Did you hear that?
Yeah, I did hear that little squeaky squeak. I better do the Batman voice. Now we go to the cream of the crop.
No, we did it again.
What?
Bat signal.
Oh. we're skipping over the bat signal. I'm getting too excited to talk about Batty.
Well, the bat signal is easy. What is it? It's like for 3 color, 3 generic, you get a artifact where it's you tap, like pay 1, tap the bat signal, and search your library
For any of the bat members, right?
Yeah, and then add it to your hand. It
we
brings
figured
them.
it'd be too OP if we allowed it to put it straight on the board.
Yeah.
So we figured make more sense to put it into your hand.
Because you're bringing them to the tower and then you're sending them to the fight.
Yep.
Boom. Now we're on to the cream of the crop, and I kind of want you to do the whole thing in your Batman voice.
We're gonna talk about Batman.
Batman?
Batman's a
Batman.
3 double black. He's a 5/5 first strike and menace.
Menacing.
Let's see here.
Enter the battlefield.
Oh, okay. You got complicated things here. Enter the battlefield. Search your library and equip utility belt to Batman.
It's actually library, grave, and hand.
Oh, that makes sense.
I know.
Anyhow, you can search library, graveyard, or your hand for the utility belt. Automatically equip it to Batman. So, turn 5, you can put Batman out, and automatically, which is common sense, go for his shock gloves to beef Batman up.
Unless
And
you
if
already
you
have
say
Batman.
you got Robin in your hand, but you haven't laid him on the board yet because you had Batman and you wanted to lay Batman down because he's Batman.
Batman.
Go for his staff. So automatically, as soon as you lay Robin down the next turn, automatically has bow staff equipped. Come on,
Or if,
it's awesome.
or if you don't have the smoke bombs yet, or batarang, or
Exactly.
whatever.
It allows you to search for whatever you you need for your other item.
Yeah, and I wanted it for the utility belt. Like no matter where it's at, Batman has his freaking utility belt.
Because he's Batman.
Exactly.
Don't voice out on me from doing stuff. So we had to add that, and since it's Batman, obviously, and Batman's utility belt is big part of him, we thought it made more sense you could search your library for it, you can search your hand for it, you can search the graveyard for it. He's automatically, when he's out there, he's gonna have that thing on him at all times when he's Batman.
You got the
So
answers.
it made more sense, even if you already had Robin out on the field and he fucked up and lost it. Batman brings it back because he's fucking Batman.
He has another ability as well.
Did I miss one?
It's so
Oh yeah. Enter the battlefield. Also, when he comes into play, he looks at the top 5 cards of his the library and add 1 to your hand. Now we did that because Batman's always 5 steps ahead.
yes. And then what we discovered last night, coincidentally, is Batman being 5 steps ahead is a 5/5 for 5 who lets you look at the top 5 cards of your library and lets you get one of them.
Yep.
Gets the utility belt, which lets you get 2 more cards. So he's a 5/5 for 5, costs 5. You can look at the top 5 cards of your library. You get a utility belt, which gives you in total 5 cards.
Yep. Which we thought was hilarious.
He's a 5/5/5/5/5. For 1 card, you get 5 things essentially. No, it's like you get like 4 things, but the mana cost makes it a 5.
Which we thought was freaking hilarious that since he's always 5 steps ahead, he was literally how he set it up, 5 steps ahead.
It was amazing.
And we did it all by accident.
Yeah, I think subconsciously we're like, this is gonna be a thing, and when we realize it, it's gonna be so cool. Yeah, and so those are all the creatures and non-creatures that are in the deck.
Oh yeah, we got lands too.
We do have lands. Real quick on those, like on the creatures, we get 2 of each one because you can't really have more than one of the same one out there because time paradoxes.
Yeah.
You know.
Can't have 2 Batmans on the board.
Yeah. And like.
I wish.
Yeah, OP. And then, like right before we started recording, I started thinking about the mana base, and we kind of came up with some pretty interesting lands to put in there. And we're gonna start off with
the Batcave,
obviously.
And with these, we were thinking 4, and I decided that would be 2 OP. That we needed to limit it to 2 apiece for these special lands, so that gives us 6 special lands total. Out of what, 16 for lands?
Yeah. So like the Batcave, because it does work for all of them, and we're running a 3-color deck where it's red, white, and black. You can tap it to add a red, a white, or a black to your mana pool. It does come into play tapped. So,
the next one, Clock Tower.
Oracle.
Yep. Let's see if I can read.
Sorry,
Mr. Tiberius's chicken scratches here.
Well, I used symbols. It's tap, add 1 colorless.
Yep, and then you could tap.
Pay 1.
Pay 1 and tap. Add a white red, a white black, or a red black.
Yeah.
So essentially, we can get any of the color schemes that we needed with that. So, and obviously, since it's the Oracle's Clock Tower, that made more sense. She's dredging for resources for us.
Yeah.
Giving us what we need when we need it.
And you can look at it in the sense of like she's coordinating it. So if she has Gordon and Red Hood working together on something, that's where the white red comes in, you know.
Yep.
And then
last one, Police Station. Tap it for white. Or pay 1, tap, add 1 of any color to your mana pool. So that could come in handy. You know, obviously you got to pay 1 for it, but if you have 3 blacks and need a red, bam, pay 1 and tap it.
Get Robin.
And you got your red.
Yeah. That worked. I liked it. And then the basics, by the way that the costs were set up, 5 swamps, 3 mountains,
and
2 plains. That gives us a pretty even across the board of getting the colors we need at a consistent rate for a 40-card deck.
You want to play this deck? I kind of want to play the other one.
Of course I want to play the Batfamily.
Okay. I'm kind of excited to play some of the other stuff in the other deck.
Yeah.
I'm excited to play this one as well, but yes. I really want to play the other one.
Well, you've always been more of the bad guy than me anyway.
Well, because of my heavy color. Granted, this deck is heavy on my color as well.
It is, but it's a different format of your color.
Yeah.
Whereas the other one is right up your alley.
And I'm excited. Yeah.
So, that was the Batfamily. In its entirety, 40-card deck.
That's crazy fucking OP.